Match 5 here at Dubai International Cricket Stadium, and it was the Golf Giants again against the Dubai Capitals this time. Dubai Capitals struggling at the start of the tournament, but the Golf Giants looking good. Good with the ball, but good with the bat as well. Nasanka earning himself another player of the match performance. 67 to go with his last game of 81. Hitting it to all parts. Helped by James Vince, who was back in action for the Golf Giants today, getting the win for his team. So have a look here. As you can see, they put 160 on the board, the Capitals, but the Golf Giants there did a great job with the bat and the ball, getting that 4-wicket victory. We have a look at the points table. 2 from 2 for the Golf Giants. Are sitting on top now. The Desert Vipers with their 2 wins as well. Capitals, though, a few questions to ask when they go into the next game, which is tomorrow. Welcome into Cricket Safari. Jonathan Trott is joining Andy Flower and Waqar Younis and myself. Congratulations, this coaching gig's pretty easy.
No, definitely not, but thank you very much, I'll take it.
Tell us about tonight and your assessment of the boys' performance.
Well, I think we were, pretty good with the ball, and they maybe got a few too many at the end, and we let them get a couple in the last couple of overs, but I think would have taken 160, having seen how the wicket played, which we weren't quite sure how it was going to be, having been a used wicket. So to take that, 160, we would have taken it comfortably, but we made it a little bit harder for ourselves. We perhaps could have knocked it off a little bit quicker, but it's early on in the tournament, and the guys seem to be playing pretty well. Yeah,
they certainly do, Andy, and you know this team intimately. You know them very well. What have you liked about what you've seen so far?
They look as if they're beautifully led by their new head coach. No, but they do look really organised, actually, all jokes apart. They've been excellent up front with the new ball. They had a little more spin involved today, which I'd like to ask Trotty about in a moment. And then the injection of Nasanka into the team, I think, has been a masterstroke. He looks incredibly impressive, very classy-looking player. And I haven't seen a lot of him. I'm sure Jonathan has seen more. But Trotty, tell us a little more about the lead-in, if you don't mind, the lead-in to this tournament. You've started so well. Were there a few key things that you needed to put in place to get that start?
Well, we got all the players from the T10, so it's not like they hadn't been playing cricket. They had been playing cricket, and for me, it was just about finding the right combinations. And just going back to Nasanka, who obviously became available sort of last minute, and we had 2 injuries to bowlers. And we signed a bowler, and I made sure that we signed him. We saw how well he played in Asia Cup here at the stadium. And obviously being involved in subcontinent cricket quite a lot, I've seen him over the years and been thoroughly impressed. So it's fantastic to have him in the change room that I'm in and with the rest of the players. But with regards to being led, very fortunate as well. My job's easier having some experienced players like Moeen Ali and James Vince around, who've played a lot of franchise cricket and have played this tournament as well.
Waqar, so you've got Nasanka out here, back-to-back performances with the bat. How would you bowl to him right now?
Oh, man, I mean, if someone's in this sort of form, it's very, very difficult to bowl to someone who's such a clean hitter and uses the pace really, really nicely. He's not a tall man. He's only, maybe 5'8", 5'7", 5'8", but he's clean. He's such a clean striker. Look at that. He uses the pace also and plays both sides of the pitch. We saw him flicking one on the onside, going for 6, and that shot was really icing on the cake. He's such a fine player, and I think it's a great signing. I think, Jonathan, you did an excellent job with signing him also. And I also want to just ask Trotty about the leadership of Moeen. I thought winning the toss first of all, and then bowling and bringing the bowlers, changing ends. I thought that he was wonderful.
Yeah, and I think his experience is not only himself as a player, but all playing in this tournament before. It makes my job very easy. Just asking questions. What do you think? Is full of ideas, along with James Vince, who's sort of coming back from an injury. Yeah. The team feels in good hands, and with regards to the rest of the players, they'll feed off that. And so for me, it's just sitting back and making sure that things are organised as much as they can be, and give the guys the best opportunity to go forward, but also make sure the conditions are going to change throughout the tournament, and how we assess and how we adapt as a side is important.
And about James Vince, so you're a little worried about his injury because he was hobbling most of the time?
No, I don't think so. I think the easy option for him today would have probably been to get out and sort of let somebody else go. He saw the team home, and that's what leaders and people who are confident in their ability do.
There are fewer nicer things to watch than James Vince batting, and when he looks good, it's fantastic to watch. What is it about his technique that keeps him so successful, so consistency, would you say?
Well, I've known him since he was in the England Cricket Academy, and I was coaching there, actually. So he's a beautiful offside player against the quicks. And there's a good example against the spin. He holds that blade beautifully through his offside shots. He's a very good puller against quicks. And as soon as you can, if you're playing a good cover drive and punch off the back foot through the offside, but you've also got the pull to put their length under pressure, that's a great combination of shots, and means the bowlers have to be on point if they're going to create any pressure or create any chances against you. The other thing about him is he's very calm. He knows the game well. We were talking about his captaincy in the pre-game show, but he's a very calm bloke. Which is a great quality as a captain, great quality for a top 3 batter.
Have you ever seen him stressed out?
Not really, no. But I think that's, he don't sort of let that calmness sort of fool you. He thinks deeply about the game and is very, very determined. He was determined to play today, even though he probably think or knows he's a little bit injured. He wanted to play today, and it was very, very sort of direct in that sort of feeling.
Is he on some sort of incentive scheme?
Well, I don't know. We have to find out. But from me, whenever you see a player who could take the easy option again, and I'm 50, maybe give me a couple more days. No, I want to play tomorrow.
Nice.
You got to let them go.
Yeah, absolutely do. Waka, I want to talk to you about the bowling from the Golf Giants today, what you liked about it, and the new white belt holder.
Yeah, I think they are amazing. They've got a very good balance in their lineup, especially bringing this youngster who can bowl really, really well. Omar Zai, he's got good pace. He's a wicket taker. He swings the ball both ways. When you give him a new ball, he does the job also. And even in the middle part of the game, when you need him to just come and pick up a wicket or maybe just block the runs, and I think he's done well. He was a little expensive today, but he's a wicket taker. Wicket takers are going to be a little bit expensive, but so you'll take that, and his batting is amazing also. We haven't seen that yet, but he's a very good all-rounder at number 5, number 6, or even number 7. They've got such a good batting lineup, so you can chuck him anywhere you want to.
Those players are handy to have, and you've worked with him a bit, so what's he like in the dressing room?
Very calm, very quiet and unassuming. It's been fantastic over the last 3.5 years to see his development, not only as a cricketer, but also as a person off the field as well. When I took the side of the Afghan side, very sort of quiet and sort of hid in the shadows a little bit. But as soon as, seeing him a few times, within 20 seconds, 30 seconds of seeing him bat or bowl, I knew we had something special. And to see that him rise, and he's now the ODI Player of the Year, ICC, it makes me very sort of proud as a coach to see these guys and changing their lives.
It's very cool to see. And tonight we saw a great performance. You've got 2 wins from 2 games. It's a nice way to start any tournament. But if you were looking for areas to improve on, we heard Moeen Ali in the post-match talk about how it was great to get the points, but you can be better. What are the areas that you think you'd be better in?
Maybe just closing out a little bit, understanding the sort of field dimensions and getting that right. We're going to be on a different pitch on Monday, so, a bit lopsided again in the field, and so we have to plan for that, and it will be a used wicket again, so we'll have to make sure we get our selection right and when we get to the ground on Monday.
All right, well, best of luck for that. Thank you so much for coming over and chatting us today. Go and enjoy the celebrations. 2 from 2.
I'll keep this.
So you can keep that microphone. That's our gift to you. Fantastic.
We got plenty.
Right, so we have some contest winners. Make sure you stay with us right now. Have a look at this. Have a look at this now. If your name is here, this is the Jawal Dikar in Pau competition. If your name's on here, you are a winner from match number 4. All over the shop. 2 pages of winners here, so stay with us. If you didn't see your name on the first one, you might see it here. There you go. If you're on there, congratulations. So the Golf Giants, they get the victory. The Dubai Capitals, what are they going to do now? Because it's a tough way to start a competition, losing 2 on the trot, especially when you're defending your title. What would you be saying right now as the coach?
Well, first thing I think we should understand is they've had some major changes. So they've lost Sam Billings, their captain, from last year who's an outstanding captain. They've got a new captain in Dasun Shanaka. They lost Shea Hope, who was an outstanding opening batsman for them. He was the standout player last year for Dubai Capitals. And also Sikandar Raza, who's a very good all-round cricketer and a bundle of energy in the dressing room, in the hotel, and out here in the field when they're out bowling and fielding. So those are big losses. So it's a real reset for Dubai Capitals and probably quite a big challenge for Hemang Badani, the head coach. So I hope for their sake that they settle into some sort of rhythm. It's a challenge to how they hold their confidence after these 2 losses. You know, they're really going to have to bind well together, communicate well, and come out fighting in their 3rd match.
Yeah, they certainly will, Waka. If they go back and have a look at some of the dismissals from today, some are saying maybe some a little soft, some of those. I didn't say that, I don't bat, so it would be unfair of me to say that. But these dismissals, how would you describe them?
Look, I think that was a rash shot, and they could have taken a little bit longer, especially up front when you're losing wickets. And also when you facing the spinners, I thought they were very, very slow. They batted for 5 overs in the middle from 10 to 14, where they lost wickets and also didn't score. They scored only 18 runs. When you lose that many wickets, you're not going anywhere. And I thought, you know, the Giants were superb. They were just brilliant. They just bowled so well. It was hard to get away when your bowlers are bowling that well.
Andy, what of the batting order? Because there were some suggestions that Rodman Powell could go somewhere else. What would you do? How would you have it?
Well, I must say, looking at their order that they used today, Rodman Powell coming in at 7 and Dasun Shanaka coming in at 8, they're just too low. They need the exposure to the amount of balls that gives them the opportunity to turn a game. They are match winners, both those guys, with a bat. Dasun Shanaka is a proper stroke maker. Rodman Powell, all the power in the world. But if they're only offered 5 or 6 balls to face, you're not getting the most out of them. They should have a think about that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why Willie was sent up the order. I mean, okay, wicket might be a little bit difficult, but they're professional. They've played enough cricket. They've been around the world playing different leagues. They know how to manage. And the way Andy just mentioned the names, Shanaka and Ronald Powell, and I mean, you're just wasting them basically. You know, batting down the order. Just send them up. Don't worry about it. Even if you lose their wickets, they'll come good. They're match winners. And I think that's where they made a huge mistake. And also, Mohammad Nabi, I thought he was the man who should have come in place of Nishan, because we saw in the first inning ball was spinning, and he's a cunning bowler. He's very, very smart. So, and his batting could also be in an advantage. So I thought they made few mistakes. I'm sure they'll fix that tomorrow and come back stronger.
I'm sure they will, and they don't have much time to think about it, which might be a good thing. We're going to take a short break here. Don't you go anywhere, Andy. Thank you for joining us. When we come back, we're going to have a look at tomorrow's double headers. Welcome back to Cricket Safari. Another good day out for the Golf Giants here in the DP World's ILT20. They have kicked off Season 4 beautifully. 2 wins from 2 games now, beating the Capitals by 4 wickets. Hello everyone, welcome back. Mike Hazeman is joining Wakara now, and myself on the sideline now. And what you've done pretty much every game of this tournament so far. Where does this one rate for you, and what's your initial assessment?
I was disappointed in the Capitals. I thought they were going to come out firing a bit today. The mistakes they made the other night, it was pretty much the same. I mean, no one got more than 40, and that's a real problem. They did get better in their power play this time around. And they only got to the 160 mark, which is a par score, and that included 19 off the last over. So they were always struggling, and I think it was going to be tough in that moment because I think they lost a little bit of air in their bubble actually at the halfway mark, and then they got back into the game just a fraction towards the end of the Giants. But I think the Giants are always going to be okay, providing Vince was there. And I was concerned about that as well because he was obviously hobbling around the place for a while. But yeah, disappointed in the Capitals. I think the Giants will be pleased with their performance overall, and now top of the table, which has got to be a nice tick for them.
It's a nice way to start any tournament, isn't it, Walker?
Yeah, 2 out of 2. I mean, you can't ask for more, but it's just a start. don't underestimate anyone or don't overestimate anyone. I mean, there's plenty of cricket to be played. It's a whole month, so you have to really keep your form going, and also you got to make sure that your players are fit. You got to keep swapping them around and keep them all in form. And yes, they are in good form. They won 2 games, and they look like a very, very good unit, and they look like a team who can win this tournament. So. Yeah, for me it's early days, but I'll really back them up.
Yeah, absolutely. We're already talking about them winning it, so it's a nice way for them to be. And they've got, you talk about form. Well, Nissanka, is he in the form of his life or what? He has looked so good. Was it maybe the last year? It's been pretty solid, pretty consistent.
The last year, really good. He's played in a few tournaments, T20 tournaments and performances. Obviously, the work he did for Sri Lanka against India in the Asia Cup was outstanding. That 107 in basically 50-odd balls. It was just quite ridiculous. But the way he strikes the ball, I mean, he's so small. He's such a tiny little bloke. He's got enormous ability to time the ball, hit sixes, and very composed. And he's one of those guys you can see straight away. He's just got a little bit more time than most. And if you're a batsman who's got more time than most, and it looks like you got more time than most, you're going to be a very good player. And he's still obviously not at his peak. He was the first to admit that, but gee, I think he's playing superbly.
Yeah, and good things come in small packages, I've always
yes.
Absolutely. So when you look at Nissanka and the way he's playing, how does he keep it up, do you think?
Look, he's one batter who hardly moves in his crease. He's very still, and he doesn't take big stride. He just, as Mike said, that he sees the ball probably better than other players, and when you're in form and you're seeing the ball early, you can play those sort of shots. And a very small stride, and he swivels from there also, and he can play offside also. He cuts the ball really well. We didn't see that many times today because of the slowness of the surface, but I feel once he gets a pitch where there is a little bit more bounce and a little bit more carry, and he'll play better because he stands really tall. It's a bit like Vince also. He's a timer of the ball. He's probably a 6 hitter. He hits a 6. He looks to sort of scoop it up. He doesn't really hold back. So he is one man they really have to take care of. Make sure that he stays in form, stays fully rested also, because you don't want to burn players here also.
He looks like, to me also, the other thing about him, and you'll know players like this, and so will you, Laura, I mean, obviously in the rugby world as well, he looks to me as though he's one of those blokes who wants to improve all the time. I reckon he would have been really disappointed he got out when he did. And one of the secrets of being a really fine sportsman is the next day you front up. I think I've heard Waz talk about this quite a bit. You do very well, you perform for your country. You've got to make sure the next day you front up, you perform even better, and the next test match even better. He looks like that sort of guy to me. So I think that's going to be something that's going to push him quite nicely. And if he can get that right with the ability he's got, I mean, there's not going to be much going to stop him. That's how good I think he could be.
Yeah, he plays all formats. He plays test match cricket also, one-day cricket. He's the Sri Lanka's main batter at this stage. And he most of the time he gives a really good start. Even in test matches he plays the same way. He doesn't really hold back. He reminds me of Dilshan a little bit, because Dilshan was another batter who test match, one-day, T20, whatever format, that's the way he's going to play, and he plays that way. And when you have player like this who will get you going, and the teams will win more games than others.
Yes, they certainly will, and they are doing that at the moment. And we are well into it here at the DP World ILT20. Our first of the double headers is tomorrow. The first up game is at Sharjah Cricket Stadium, one of my favourite stadiums, that one. And as the Sharjah Warriors, can they bounce back, taking on my Emirates, who equally would like to bounce back from their losses to start their campaign? That's an interesting challenge. Who's your money on there?
Well, it is going to be interesting. In fact, I'm going to be ideal to talk about both these games because I'm doing both of them.
So it's a good start for you. We'll get your practice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, both of them.
So, yeah, I'm doing both of them.
How are you going to manage?
Well, a little jet, I think. I don't know. Your jets? No, maybe not.
You guys are going on jets? I have to walk.
That jet, not the jet which flies.
The Warriors have got to play better. I mean, they're the team that I'm looking to see play better than they did the last time around. They can make a big improvement. And of course, Emirates, they're normally a side that with the power hitters they've got, you expect them to be. Not Emirates. Emirates. Yeah, you expect them to play better than they have been so far as well. So, you've got 4 teams playing tomorrow who have lost their last games. So, I mean, they've all got to pull out their socks and make sure they come right tomorrow. Because they've got to actually get on that winning trail, because you can't sort of get in the games and lose too many in a row at the start. Then you're playing catch up the whole time.
Which is no way to play at all. But with my Emirates and what we saw them do out here, I mean, we did see the likes of Kieran Pollard's get a wee start, and it was good to see. It was exciting to watch, and hoping that he'll just continue that on tomorrow and really help his team.
Yeah, too good a team to keep them out of the winning streak. I think, yes, they had a poor start, but they have got so many great players of T20 cricket that, you know, I'm sure they are going to bounce back. Sharjah Warriors got to be a little bit more worried. They had a terrible game, the previous one in Sharjah, so they have to really pull their socks and make sure that they play some decent cricket. They have to really sort out their bowling. So it should be a good game. But I think Sharjah Warriors got more to lose right now.
Emirates have got Nicholas Pooran as well. I mean, he didn't fire in the last game. He sort of didn't get going. But I think one of the things that's going to be quite important is the track where all the runs were scored when Livingston got those 88 in about 3 balls, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was a track that was much better for stroke making than we saw yesterday, for example. It was a little bit of a different track, and the guys couldn't really play as many strokes as they wanted to. So I think that's one. I know it's the same pitch that they used, I think. No, it was a different pitch. It was a fresh pitch. But I think it's a situation where the guys have got to adapt to make sure they adapt to the surfaces and don't just go out there straight away and look to play shots straight away, because it won't be the same as the first game, because that was just magnificent to bat on.
It looked magnificent to bat on, and I always like seeing people hit them onto the road. You know, I think that's very exciting.
Into the shop.
Into the shop next door. So will that happen? Well, that's the first game in the double header, but there's also the next game in the evening. It is ADKR taking on the Capitals. So they don't have too long to think about what's happened out here tonight against the Golf Giants, and that might not be a bad thing, right, Waka?
Yeah, they both lost their, previous game. You saw Capital losing now, and then of course Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, they lost their second game in Sharjah. So they're both hurting. They both probably look to get back into winning streak. And Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, I feel that they're a better side when I look at the two sides.
Yeah, well, the Knight Riders, they haven't. How do I put this nicely? In the last couple of seasons, they've struggled. They've struggled a little bit.
Big time.
But to start with a win against that Sharjah Warriors side over in Sharjah, to see what Livingston did.
Yep.
I mean, how much will they be relying on him? Because they've got some serious players in that team.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if he's going to be fit. He took a nasty blow on the eye when he was trying to take a catch towards the end of the game. So I wonder if he's going to be fit. They're going to be up like that today, I would imagine.
Come on, he'll be fine.
But he's from England.
Well, here he was here all the way from England at Sharjah Cricket Stadium, absolutely going to town. 82 off 38 balls. I mean, you just wouldn't want to be a bowler that day.
Not at all. It was disappearing to all parts. They were all getting a stiff neck watching the ball just fire out of the green. It was amazing to hit him.
He does this around the world. What makes him so good, so challenging to bowl to when he's in that mood?
He comes in the middle and he plays spinners really, really well. And, when he takes on the spinners, it's hard to bowl at him.
Look out tomorrow. It's all coming for you on the DP World ILT20. See you tomorrow.